Living with suicidal thoughts is like carrying a weight no one else can see. It's a constant mental noise, a quiet storm that hums beneath everything, no matter how normal you might seem to the outside world. It's not just sadness, it's exhaustion. It's feeling like you're out of options, like nothing is going to change, like you've tried everything and still wake up in pain. For many, these thoughts don't always mean they truly want to die. Often, they mean they want the pain to stop. They want peace. They want silence. They want to stop feeling like a burden. But those feelings lie. They cloud your ability to see clearly. And what feels permanent in the moment is almost never the full truth. If you're someone wrestling with these thoughts or know someone who is, you're not alone. We talk about this openly and honestly at the Code Purple Project. Subscribe for real stories, healing insights, and a community that doesn't look away from the hard truths. Suicidal thoughts don't always come with warning signs or look the way people expect. Some days they're loud and urgent, other days they're quiet whispers. Would anyone even notice if I wasn't here? You might still go to work, laugh at jokes, post on social media, and tell everyone you're fine. Meanwhile, you're fighting a battle in your head just to stay alive. That disconnect can make you feel even more isolated, even more ashamed. The world tells us to stay strong, to just think positive, to snap out of it. But if it were that easy, we would. There's also a misconception that suicidal thoughts only show up during crisis. But for many, they live in the background, passive but persistent. They're the fallback thought when things go wrong. The brain gets used to returning to that dark space, almost like a broken record. You can be doing okay for weeks, and then one bad day, one disappointment, one rejection, and the spiral begins. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means your brain has been taught to look for an escape. It means you've survived so much pain that your mind is trying to protect you the only way it knows how. For some, suicidal thoughts stem from trauma, especially trauma that was never acknowledged or processed. Abuse, neglect, bullying, racism, chronic illness, poverty, grief, or growing up in environments where emotions weren't safe to express. These experiences can erode your sense of worth. They can make you believe you are too broken to be loved, that you're too much or not enough. Those beliefs become internalized, and the suicidal thoughts grow from that soil of shame and silence. There's also the biology of depression and anxiety. When the brain is chemically imbalanced, when the nervous system is constantly in fight, flight, or freeze, suicidal thoughts can seem logical. Your brain may be operating from a place of survival, not clarity. In that state, even small tasks feel insurmountable. Getting out of bed, returning a message, eating a meal, all of it feels like climbing a mountain. The thought of relief, of simply not being here, starts to feel like a solution. But again, these are lies that mental illness tells. And part of healing is learning not to trust every thought that crosses your mind. One of the cruelest parts of suicidal thinking is the shame it carries. People feel like they're weak, selfish, or attention-seeking for feeling this way. They think they should be grateful, or that others have it worse, or that they don't deserve to struggle. So they stay quiet. But suffering isn't a competition. Your pain is valid, no matter what it looks like. You deserve support not because you've hit a certain threshold of suffering, but because you're human. You are not a burden. You are not broken beyond repair. And you don't have to do this alone. So how do you begin to find help when you feel like you're drowning? First, you have to break the silence. That's the hardest step. Telling someone, anyone, that you're not okay is the start of shifting the energy. It might be a friend, a therapist, a hotline, a teacher, or a stranger online. It doesn't have to be eloquent. You don't have to have the words. Even saying, "I'm really struggling," can open a door. You might feel exposed or embarrassed. That's okay. Do it anyway. Because once the pain has a name, it starts to loosen its grip. Professional help can make a massive difference. Therapy isn't about fixing you. It's about helping you understand your patterns, your pain, your story. It's about having someone hold space for you when you can't hold it for yourself. Therapists trained in trauma, depression, and crisis work can help you reframe your thoughts, teach emotional regulation, and offer strategies to get through the darkest moments. Sometimes medication is helpful too, not because it cures anything, but because it can take the edge off the pain enough to let healing begin. There are also crisis lines and text services available 24/7. In the US, you can dial 988. You can also use text lines if speaking feels too hard. These services exist for a reason: to hold people in their worst moments, no judgment, no pressure. Reaching out in those moments is not weakness, it's the strongest thing you can do. If you're not in immediate danger, but find yourself thinking about suicide regularly, it helps to create a safety plan. Write down who to call, what to do, where to go if the thoughts get worse. Include grounding techniques, reminders of why you're still here, and ways to soothe your nervous system. Keep it somewhere you can access when your brain is not thinking clearly. This is not over-planning for failure. It's giving yourself a path back to safety. And then there's community. Finding others who understand what it's like to live with suicidal thoughts can reduce shame. Whether it's a support group, a recovery-focused forum, or content like this, hearing other people's stories reminds you that you're not alone. Suicidal thoughts thrive in isolation. Connection, real, honest connection, is often the antidote. Healing is possible. That doesn't mean you'll never have a dark thought again, but it means you'll have tools, you'll have support. You'll start to build a life where you can hold both joy and pain, where you can begin to trust yourself again. Over time, the thoughts that once felt so loud may start to quiet. The grip loosens, the fog lifts. You realize that life isn't perfect, but it's still worth living. Sometimes what keeps people here is the smallest thing: a pet, a song, a future dream, a promise to someone they love. That's okay. You don't need a grand purpose to keep going. You just need one reason. And sometimes that reason changes. You live for today, and then tomorrow gives you a new reason. That's how healing happens. Not all at once, but one breath at a time. If no one else has said it to you lately, hear this now. You matter. Your life has value, even on the days when it doesn't feel like it. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond help. The world is better with you in it. And you never have to fight this battle alone. If this speaks to your heart, if you're searching for safety, honesty, and support, I invite you to subscribe to the Code Purple Project. Let's keep holding on, together.